Hit record again. Recording. Okay, well, I'll start off by first thanking you for your time. Thank you so much for taking time out of your very busy schedule to talk to me and the rest of the class about your professional career since graduating at BCIT. So I'll let you start off by introducing yourself first off.
First of all, you're welcome.
Mhm.
Second of all, my name is Lior. I graduated from BCIT in 2024, maybe? I can't remember. um, I met Bruno in my undergrad at Western University. I studied health sciences, graduated from there in 2024 or 2022. And then I went to BCIT and I went to this program. And I'm now a software developer.
Very, very exciting. That's actually good that you started talking a little bit about your undergrad because my next question was going to be how did you first get into web development? Like if that was something that you always planned on doing, that you knew you wanted to do, like how did that journey take you from Western undergrad to BCIT here?
Yeah, sorry for my cat. Um, so I started when I was in high school. I wanted to be a doctor, which is hilarious because I would be a terrible doctor. But I knew pretty quickly I didn't want to do it, but I didn't know what I did want to do. So I just kind of took as many electives as I could. I stayed in health sciences, and in my third or fourth, I think my fourth year, I took a coding essentials class, which was Python. It was like totally back end. We were doing like algorithms, and I really liked it, and I went with that, which is funny because my dad's a software developer.
Yeah, I see the cat. He's ever in the back over there,
This is
but
that
it's
part.
okay. You don't mind that.
Um, I I lost my train of thought. Sorry. I
It's okay.
what was I saying? Oh, my dad's a software developer, so but I like it just never occurred to me that I'd ever want to go into software, just because I never was like, oh, I want to know how a computer works. Like I never like opened a computer and looked at it. Like that was never my interest. But then I quickly learned that that's not actually what software is about.
Yeah, I'm glad you ended up liking it. So when you did get into BCIT, like when you were applying, when you did get in, were you, and given that our program is it's both design and development, were you like already leaning towards development, or were you like kind of in the middle, not sure exactly what you wanted to do? And then how did you choose to go into development and specialize in that after graduating?
Yeah. Well, I liked development, but I was scared again because I had this image of what a software developer was supposed to be, and I didn't feel like I fit that. And also, I feel like it's pretty hard to break into development just because there's like so much like jargon, like you don't know what anything means until you've already learned it. So I didn't know how to figure out if I was interested in it, really. It was just like overwhelming. So I wanted something that was sort of an in between. And my brother did a graphic design class at BCIT, and his friend had done this program, and he suggested it. So I looked into it, and I'm like, yeah, this seems like a good in between. Because also my brother's he's a UX designer.
Hmm. Totally, totally. And how did you feel about the design part of this program then, if you were pretty heavily into the development? Like, did you enjoy that? Do you think you got some use out of that in your current
Yeah,
job?
I did really like it. And I thought like I was also encouraged throughout the whole program that having both skills like in design and development would be a major like leg up in the industry. And I feel like I had a knack for the design as well. I just like it was easier for me to spend more time doing development. Like I
Right.
enjoyed design, I liked the end result of design, but the actual like act of developing I preferred over design.
That's fantastic to hear. A lot of my class is way more into design than they are into development. So it is good to hear a perspective from someone who enjoys the development part more so
Yeah.
than anything else. But okay, fantastic. Let's talk a little bit about your actual time at BCIT before we keep going and talking more about your job. Looking back at the program, do you think that, or what do you think were the things that prepared you the most for the real world in your current job?
Um, Good question. Um, Hard question. It's hard because the program is so design based.
Right.
So,
Oh,
okay,
I
I
think you're
should also say
frozen.
for
Can
my current
you
job, I
can you
am actually
rewind
like
5 seconds? You just froze up for a
oh,
second.
oh, okay.
You're
I'm
back now.
unfrozen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're unfrozen.
Um, what was I saying?
About the program being very design heavy And that's about as far as you
Oh
got.
yeah, so it was
Right.
hard. Like there was a lot. And then I said, okay, yeah, I should say what my actual role is now is me and actually another person that I brought from the program, we completely redesigned and implemented a new design for an app, like for the software application. And so design wise, it's been like really helpful. Like Figma, just like breaking down how to create like branding and how to create like a design system. We use those skills all the time. In terms of development, it has been because I'm sort of like full stack. I'm doing a lot of front, but mostly back,
Right.
just because of the nature of my role. And so, in terms of development, there isn't that much that really helped. Like, we're using C Sharp, which we didn't even begin to cover. And I understand you guys don't, like, we had a PHP class, but I don't even think you guys had that, right?
Yeah, we're doing it's big focus on the front end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, those skills definitely transferred, but I guess mostly just like the like UX concepts and like principles is probably a better word. And just like how to build a design system. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. So from what I'm hearing, like the theory of everything was helpful to learn, but we could have maybe delved a little bit deeper into some of the heavier like development stuff.
Not
Um,
necessarily. It just like I think it was yeah.
for you at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So did you have to do a lot of like learning on your own? Do you think that like you learned a lot on the job? Did you have to like go and take like some classes on your own before starting to apply or anything like that for like those things that you don't think were super taught in at BCIT?
Um yeah, like again, like most of the things that I learned or that I'm doing development wise, I have learned entirely on my own.
Right.
In terms of design, I'll also like rewinding a little bit as well. I should say my role also like did not have any type of design system in place. So that's why I'm saying like
I
we had
see.
to build it from like the very beginning, which is why a lot of these things were applicable.
Right.
And yeah, lots of learning on my own. Was that the question?
No, yeah, that totally answers it. And just a
Okay.
quick follow-up to that, like what do you wish maybe was taught a little bit more at BCIT? Like is there like you said, you're doing most of everything in C++ and stuff like that. Like do you wish that that was taught or anything like that?
No, like I don't think that's what the program is for. And I think most of the people in my class wouldn't have benefited from that
Right.
information. So I don't wish that that was taught necessarily. I think one thing I learned on my, like, there were some just like fundamentals that I think were maybe skipped over in terms of design. Like when I was in my, what's it called? Internship. Like some things like like Figma really wasn't covered at all, actually. So I would say, I don't know if it's different now, but we didn't have any classes that really, it was kind of like you can use Figma on your own and we recommend it, but like we're not going to teach you at all how to use Figma. And like using Figma components has been really a massive thing for me. Like auto layout, I didn't know happened, like existed until my internship. I think I even told you like watch videos on Figma. It is like the number one thing that will help you. And like yeah, like variables, the color system was really hard to build. Also, just like things like typically you want like all of the dimensions should be like a multiple of 8. I don't know if maybe I just like wasn't paying attention, but that was like a really big thing in my internship that they emphasized.
Right. That's funny you say that about Figma because we actually did learn quite a bit about Figma. We've had like entire classes talking about like how to use it from like the ground up. So it's good to see that the program is like adapting at a relatively quick pace by the looks of it. But talking about your internship, tell us a little bit more about that. What was your internship? What were you doing there?
So I worked at a company called Convergence. They're like a software agency. I was sort of hired as like just a general intern, so like I did a lot of design, but I also did a little bit of front end development. Like I developed like a page for their website. Yeah, that's
Did you enjoy it? A lot of us are in our class are concerned about getting internships or anything like that. So like, is there anything positive you have to say about your internship? Was it fun?
Yeah, it was great. It was a really good experience. If you like I've given you this advice, but for everybody else, like you have to be creative, which I think is something that like Richard and Mike really emphasized was like you have to be creative and you have to network. Like it's not going to fall into your lap and anything can be an internship. Like that was something that really stuck with me from Richard is like you can go to like a random restaurant and ask to like redo their menu for free. So like if you want an internship, you will find one. You just need to have the drive and the motivation to find one.
Yeah.
And then yeah, they also like when we were building our resumes, they're like everything is experience, which came into play yesterday because I was talking to a friend who works for like a ski like they're called what are they called? They're like the ski goggle covers, goggle socks. And she was saying that the way like she was applying for months on LinkedIn to hundreds of jobs and the way that she sorry the way that she found her job was because she worked at this ski shop and it was the ski shop that was the first store to sell goggle socks and the owner found like saw that on her resume and that's the reason she got the job which like
Yeah, I see. I see.
yeah
Any experience is experience. You never know how something's going to help you, even if you're not
exactly
expecting it. Totally. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay, fantastic. We've already talked a little bit about what your current job is and about how things are a little bit different from what you expected. Was there like, what was the biggest culture shock that you experienced going from professional or from student to professional?
um I don't know that there was one.
That's fantastic to hear.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I was pretty well prepared.
Yeah, okay. That's then kudos to BCIT for preparing you.
Yeah.
That's
I also,
probably what the
yeah,
best thing you want to hear. Yeah.
also like I have family in the industry, so like maybe that added to it, but
Okay,
yeah.
then going off of that, do you think that that helped you a lot having family in this industry? I know like a lot of us in class also have like absolutely zero experience with development or anything like that before getting into this program.
Yeah, well, I work for my dad. So
Right. So obviously that
definitely
does
it
help for
did
sure.
help. Yeah. And also the way I got my internship is he took me to an industry event for CEOs and founders. So,
Right.
and I like crashed the event and that's how
That's
I
that's networking.
yeah, that's how I met the owner of Convergence and how I got my internship as well.
Totally. Okay. That sounds awesome. That sounds awesome. Okay, so I guess things weren't super different from being a student to being a professional, but is there anything that maybe you learned a lot or used a lot in school that didn't really translate into the workplace? Anything that you think that like is not maybe worth that much time or anything like that?
Again, I think like so many people go into different things from this program where like different things are going to be helpful to different people. I do feel like I used a lot, like even like the like photo editing and whatever. Like sometimes the marketing, it's a pretty small company that I work for, so like sometimes we help with the marketing. Like even this week
Right.
we were asked to help with like editing some marketing videos. So like really that's something that I probably wouldn't have assumed would be helpful, but is.
Yeah, totally. I know a big thing about this is like being able to wear many hats. So like BCIT prepares you to do many different things,
Yeah.
which is awesome. Okay, and how long do you think it took you to feel like really confident or comfortable in your role? I know, again, like you said, it wasn't that much of a culture shock, but do you feel like you've developed a lot since?
Um, a lot. I was also just talking about this yesterday. Like it's hard. When I was at my internship, the owner, he was saying it takes probably like 6 months for an intern to become like a productive member
To
of
be
the
like useful
team.
for the team, right?
Yeah. I would say the company that I work for, it's an ERP system, so it's really like a massive application. Like it's funny, the boss Steve, my dad,
The
he
boss.
one time said we have 400 pages in the application, but one time I checked and it was like over 1,000. So I feel like I only recently became a like significant, like a seriously productive member of the team. We
Hmm.
did like totally redesign the application, so maybe I'm not like giving myself enough credit, but like I feel like I'm only getting confident now that I'm like nearly 2 years in.
No,
But
totally.
also because yeah, I had no experience with C sharp or anything, so that was totally new for me.
And
So
you're also joining like an existing project that's, like you said, huge and stuff like that. It's gonna take a while to familiarize yourself with anything. I totally understand that.
yeah.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit more about details. Like, how does your day-to-day look like doing what you do so well?
Yeah, so well, thanks. Um, my day to day. I art like it's pretty flexible for us. Like we all work from home. It's like totally remote. And like the start like there's no like specific start hours or end hours. So I wake up and I try and do things, but like you're talking about in a work context, right? Like I knit before work.
I mean, that's good to hear that you have time to do that. So
Yeah.
that's still fantastic.
Yeah,
But yeah,
honestly, also like to be serious, like working from home, it's been hard to find like a balance of like being like a real like member of society and
right. Yeah.
like a worker because I like work in my pajamas, which is probably not good, but so I wake up, whatever, I start work. I try and start early just so I end early, catch some sunlight. And then usually I'll check like we have a bug reports page, so I'll usually scroll through the bug reports, make sure there's like nothing too urgent. And then if I'm like working on an existing project, I'll just like dive into that. Otherwise, like we have like our bug reports and our feature requests, but our feature requests we review every Wednesday, so usually I won't get like a new assignment like that until a Wednesday. Um, but bug reports I just kind of do as they come in. Like there's like an assignee drop down, so I like assign it to
Right.
myself if I think I can do it, and then update like the progress. Um, Check my emails. Our hours are kind of crazy, like especially people will like be traveling a lot, but still working from other places. So sometimes I'm like getting emails in the middle of the night as well. Um, yeah, and then I just work until I can't work anymore. Just kidding. I usually finish around like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Right. Okay, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. I love it.
Are you gonna edit this at all?
No, I don't think so. That's
Okay.
staying into. Okay, so
I was gonna
following
say
up
you
on
could
that.
take out the knitting part.
No, I actually want to keep that in specifically. I think that's good
Okay.
for work-life balance. That's all good. Okay, I'm actually curious about what you have to say about this one. Do you feel like you have to do a lot of work to stay like current and up to date as a developer? Like outside of your work, like do you think you have to like go and like do research in your own free time and stuff like that, or learn about new technologies? Like how do you think this fast-moving industry affects you or you work in it?
It's actually a really interesting question because I talked to my boss. We call him Steve at work. I've talked to Steve about this a lot because like he went to BCIT too. He graduated in like 1999.
Hmm.
And the only other developer on the team, they work together. So like they've been working together for like 20 plus years. And a lot of stuff was really out of date, and that's something that like me and my other team member Sora are like sort of working to improve with the application. So but now with AI,
Changes
it
everything,
is
eh?
like yeah, like I'm const like it's like every morning I maybe this is a part of my daily routine, but I wake up, I open Visual Studio and I open ChatGPT. Like it's just like it's not doing all the work for me, but it's doing the research for me and giving me the information really quickly. And obviously, I'm still doing things like outside of it, but that helps me stay up to date.
Yeah,
Um,
totally. I think a big part of staying up to date these days is going to be AI. But it's good that we started talking about this just because I think you did your time at BCIT at a weird time where AI wasn't like fully integrated yet, and then my
yeah,
cohort is like where it's pretty much almost fully integrated. Pretty much every single one of our classes has in one way or form talked about AI. So how do you feel about AI, just more generally speaking? Obviously, you start your day with it, so
yeah,
but how else do you feel about it? Do you have any further thoughts on AI?
yeah. ChatGPT came out really like halfway through my program, so it was a yeah, it was um, interesting because we've kind of had to navigate that on our own mostly, just because they didn't know how to handle it at the time. I think like a lot of people think it'll replace us. I really don't feel that way. I think of it like a calculator. That's when I talk about it. It's like when calculators first came out, they're like, oh my God, like the kids aren't gonna know math. They're not
Right,
gonna know
yeah.
how to do 1 plus 1. But like we just the expectations for like what we're capable of doing is going to be different than what it was before AI. Just yeah, like I'm working like I'm a junior developer. I've only been developing for like less than 2 years, but I'm working at the like capacity of like probably a senior developer, like something wouldn't have reached this level for probably 5 or 7 years.
It kind of like fast tracked your progress
Yeah.
by the
So just
sounds of
like
it. Yeah.
yeah, like your productivity has to be like way more, but I don't think it's gonna be like a threat to
Okay,
us.
no, that's fantastic to hear. That's a lot of what we've been hearing too from the other industry professionals we've had lectures from, and all that. Okay, so that's good to hear. Um, a little more in depth about your job. I guess not too much in depth, but a little bit deeper. What was the steepest learning curve since you started this job? I know you said it took you a while to become fully familiar with everything, but what do you think was like the hardest thing to get familiar with?
Um, Again, probably C#.
Just a
Just
whole
'cause I
new
had
language.
nothing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did like a LinkedIn learning class before, and that was it.
Yeah, no, totally, totally. Okay, so let's talk a little bit
Oh,
about
actually, maybe I say also working with other people, like working, especially with like
mm,
older developers, like they're both in their like 60s.
right, okay, okay.
Getting them to also adapt to the new technologies and like it's like constantly like why do we have to do this, like it's so much more work, and like showing them how using the like learning this new thing and implementing this new thing that might be like an initial like time investment is worth it in the long term, and we've received like quite a bit of pushback, so I
Mhm.
would say that has been a learning curve.
You know what? That's actually great point. I think a lot of us in class, and obviously you too, are very used to working with other classmates and other peers and stuff like that. And I know about personally, I have zero experience working professionally with anyone that's like not a peer of mine in that sense. So that's interesting to hear, and I can imagine how that's going to be, at the very least, tricky.
Yeah, and when it's
Um,
your dad.
and when it's your dad, when it's your own family, doesn't make things better.
Yeah.
Okay, no, fantastic, fantastic. Okay, just start ending off the last few thoughts on the interview. Is there something that what would you want to tell someone who's currently in the program, like myself and all my other classmates, about the program or what they might want to do differently than maybe what you've done?
um I wouldn't really do anything differently than how I did it, but again, it was just right for me. um Sorry, this lamp turns off randomly.
Perfect.
What would I, sorry, could you repeat the question?
If you were like, what would you tell someone in my position or who
Oh
was in your
yeah.
position to do differently than you did?
I'd say yeah, again, it's just depends on like what's right for you. You can only like you can't know what the future is, so you can only do like what you think is right at the moment. I would tell people like listen to Richard, listen to Mike, talk to them
Richard's
because
going to be
they
listening to this, so he's going to like
yeah,
that.
just like they're like two people who are like from the industry that like are really trying to like help.
Right.
And a lot of their advice is really valuable even if you like don't see it at the time. Like yeah, um listen to them and like be creative, do things that like are uncomfortable, like going to that like industry event was uncomfortable for me, but it like worked. And
Yep.
also what I kept telling myself was like it felt very hopeless, like how would anyone hire me when I was doing my internship, like how would anyone hire me, like I don't know anyone, like there's no prospects, but like you only need like one day you don't have a prospect and one day you do have a prospect, like it's one person that you need to meet, and there's like a day that you don't and there's a day that you do, so like tomorrow might be the day is my point, so like don't feel hopeless, and if you want it you'll get it, you just have to want it hard enough.
No, that's fantastic. My next question, what would you say to some students feeling hopeless about the industry? So you
Oh
answered it
yeah.
right on. Um, okay. Did you have any like side projects or like personal projects or personal work outside of your class that you found like was maybe helpful or that helped you land what you did? Or was like most of what you learned just coming straight through school?
I definitely did some like development projects on my own for my portfolio. I felt like in by fourth term, like in my last term, I didn't necessarily have like you don't have that much time, and your
Right.
like skills at the end are very different from your skills in the beginning. So to pad my development projects again, and there's also like not that many like it's
Right.
like not as development heavy. So I did some on my own. Yeah. I don't even know if my internship guy looked at my portfolio though, to be honest.
Right. Okay. Maybe a little discouraging, but that's good to hear. Yeah.
I know my boss looked at the like she also graduated like Sora graduated from the program with me,
Hmm.
and he looked at her portfolio and
Yeah.
he looked
Totally.
and saw that there were errors in the console and said never have errors in the console, it's a bad luck.
Yeah. No. Totally. Totally.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. That portfolio was actually useful for your coworker getting the job as well. Okay. So going off of the feedback that your coworker received,
Wait, can you
how
hear
do
the
you?
litter?
Sorry. Oh, is that the litter? I can't hear it actually. I
Edit
was
this
wondering what
part
that
out for
was.
sure.
Uh,
Peeing.
oh,
Silly.
different. Okay. Okay. Getting back on track. Okay, so speaking of your coworker getting some feedback about like the coastal log and the portfolio and stuff like that, like how do you deal with getting feedback? A lot of the feedback that we get is coming from teachers and other students. I feel like professional feedback might maybe go a little bit more like to your heart or something like that. How do you deal with getting professional feedback and how is that?
Um, I would say maybe I get more frustrated because like maybe it's an ego thing. It's like, what do you know? You don't know
Right.
the sign. Like your peers and your professors or instructors, they have experience, like they know what they're talking about. So I think that has been a bit of a thing. It's like just because they don't like this isn't what they specialize in doesn't mean that their feedback isn't valuable. Um, yeah. So remember, like also it matters what like your end user is not a UX expert, is not a web development expert. They're not
They
like they
never
don't
are.
care
Yeah.
necessarily like what the like that it's cool, it's edgy. They care if it works and if it makes sense. And that has been something that oh yeah. And also we have a feedback modal for our redesign and we've gotten a bunch of negative feedback and it was pretty heartbreaking because it's been like one person was just like it's hard to look at and that
Ah,
really
yes.
was like this is 2 years of my life. Um,
Yeah.
but also remembering sometimes like I don't know, maybe this is not like relevant to everybody else, but I reminded myself like when Apple updated iOS last time, I was really mad. So also the first feed, like sometimes things take time to get used to.
Right. Sometimes the first impression is not like what's the most important.
Yeah. Sometimes people are just upset that it changed,
Hmm. Hmm.
not how it
Totally.
changed. Yeah.
Yeah, no, totally. I can totally see that. Yeah, okay. No, that's all fantastic. Just to wrap up now, ooh, running out of time on the Zoom recording, so we'll definitely start wrapping up. I think it's okay. It's still recording. Okay. Where do you see yourself going from here? Like, are there parts of the industry that you want to explore or skills that you want to develop? Like, where do you see your career going forward, given that you're also a junior, where we're hopefully going to be in a few soon after graduating?
Yeah. Um, I I'm not sure, like something I think about kind of taking it day by day. I would like to explore like this is a again like a very small team. I would like to try something that's like a little bit more like established.
Hmm.
Just that has like the classic like workflow. I don't know. Yeah, just to like team dynamic in development, I think is a really big thing. Like especially like GitHub, you know, they
Yeah,
don't really know
absolutely.
how to use Git. So like yeah, I would like to work in like a bigger tech in like company at one point, but I'm not sure when.
Yeah, no, totally, totally. Very difficult for sure. Okay. Is there any final advice that you'd give to someone who's just like doing their program, just about to wrap up their program and just about to head into their career as well?
Yeah. Again, just be creative. I guess that's the common theme. Want it really hard, and yeah, put time. Like it takes time, takes energy, hard work, but you'll get there.
Yeah, we'll get out of it what we put into it, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Amazing. Well, thank you so much again for taking time out of your busy schedule to come talk to both me and the rest of the class that's going to be watching this as well. I really, really appreciate it.
Of course.
And I think that's a wrap. So
Yeah,
thank you. It
great. Thanks so much.
was lovely to
Please
hear from you.
edit out some of that
Yes,
stuff.
absolutely. Bye bye.
Oh, I tried to touch it with my finger. It's not